Do you talk?
Hello.
Fucking
Go to.
Hello, guys. This is Matt.
Yeah, this is Nen. How are you?
Today we wanted to ask the question if polygamy is still relevant in our society.
Yeah, it's a good question, and we just want to discuss and talk about it because we came from a family where we have more than four mothers, couple of siblings, and
Not couple, more than that.
more siblings. So we just want to see now we're in a Western world. The technology has also reached to our home back in South Sudan. We just want to see if there's a reason why we need to marry more wives.
First of all, what is polygamy?
Polygamy is having more than one wife and more than one husband. That's polygamy. I can say that. Ladies or men will probably decide to have more wives. Lady will decide to have more husbands. So that's.
But is the former accepted? Like women having multiple husbands?
It can be accepted. It's not.
No. Is it accepted in our society?
What do you mean society? Do you mean South Sudan?
Yeah.
For a woman to have a
more than one husband.
Well, if a husband has multiple, why should they not have?
I mean, we're not talking about the ideal situation. I'm talking about the reality on the ground. Like, does it happen?
Well, it could happen illegally, but for men, it's not illegal to have a multiple one.
I know. It's the only country where it's legal for a woman to have more than one husband, or it was actually discussed, not yet legal, I think, in South Africa. In South Sudan, legally, because the family is governed by customary law. So according to customary law in South Sudan, it's legal to have more than one wife, but not the opposite. This is what I know as far as I'm concerned. Maybe that's
so in South Sudan you're allowed to have more than one wife, but that's legal. But a woman can have multiple husbands illegally.
No.
Why?
Either way, I mean, of course, the practice, no matter where you go, the practice, I think, exists in many society, but it's infidelity, and it's considered, something that is, against social values of the society. But the thing is that why polygamy is not relevant anymore? Why should we discuss ways to reduce it, or even to abolish it altogether? Why shouldn't it continue?
Well, what I know is that back in the old age, I would say not even now, people still practice having multiple wives. Some of them are legal, some of them are illegal. I think it was because of expansion of family member. Maybe your father have 4 wives. How many does your father have?
He had 5, yeah.
He had 5. My father had 3 wives. And then for that is for the growth of my family. I need to have my siblings, and I need to have protection over my family. So if someone had to come and try to steal our cattle, we are able to fight them back. We can protect our family, we can protect our properties. As having many boys as well, sometimes it can be a barrier for other people to not attack you. So having a bigger family sometimes can justify why we needed that at that time.
But these days, I'm not saying that there is security all over the country, but there is a legal system where you can address disputes through legal means. Why should we continue to have this polygamy anymore? Because first and foremost, the livelihood strategies that we have these days are not very much relevant to having many children, because back then we practiced farming and cattle keeping. You need a lot of boys to take care of the cows, and many girls to get married, and you get more cows, so that this cycle continues.
Yeah.
But now it's I'm not sure whether having more or less determine how community values you.
Well, it's a personal thing. It's a choice. If someone chooses to have multiple wife, it means they are ready for supporting them. They're ready to take them to school, for the medical, for the for their vacations, traveling around the world. Because you cannot have a bigger family and
Just imagine you want
you
to
cannot
go.
take them.
Just,
You can have a private jet to do that. So
how many people can afford a private jet to take 10 kids for holidays?
we don't know, but they will have to figure a way to take those kids to holidays and to boarding school, to a nice, build a nice house for them, make sure they have enough food, good options of living, you know. So it comes to if you can care for your family, if your wife are happy to be a multiple wife. Because nowadays people have changed. There's not a lot of husband, and our sister need to, maybe they dream of having family,
But
having a
what do you
husband.
mean there are not a lot of husbands?
Well, what I'm saying is that people have changed. Yeah? People have tend to like the other gender than the opposite gender. So that has reduced the men availability.
You're saying
So
that
not a lot of men are available there. If they are available, maybe they're not serious. They don't want to have a commitment to anyone.
but maybe it's because also there is you know, the 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 way things are going these days, men are not interested in getting married.
Yes, well, some of them are not interested. Some of them are interested to get married. Even our sisters too, they're not interested in getting
Absolutely,
married
absolutely.
because they are tired. Sometimes the
But
man is not actually ready to look after.
but I think if
You know?
looking at it from an economic perspective,
Yes.
I think polygamy is still uh I don't think it's necessary because I think it brings a lot of violence. Not only, you know, in the general society, but at the household level. Because, for example, you know, and I've heard some examples that are very close of, you know, a father dies, you know, he was a general or he was a big man. Then once he passes away, the people in the children fight. They fight over the property, who to take what. And because the closest unit that children can be is one mother. But now they have different mothers. Everyone is fighting to take charge of the property. So I think it's one way to reduce dispute is to ensure that you don't have multiple wives.
Yeah, but it's a choice. Like I said, it's a choice. It's a personal desire. I would like to do that. I would like to have that. I would like to have a bigger family. So for us to talk about it today, I think we can reflect back how lucky we are to have our sibling, you know, from a different mother. And today we can support our society in different angle compared to maybe having two children. One of them have.
I mean, in as much as I'm grateful that I have many siblings now, I think at the grand scheme of things, it would do us justice if we were not so many. Because
In what way?
because you
In
know,
what
like
way?
no, like now it's such a logistical you know, nightmare to be able to bring the people together. First of all, you know,
People live in different
yeah,
locations.
different countries because of the conflict. I mean, if we lived in one country, I think it would be okay
Is
because
there some sibling that you have never met in your life, which are still yours?
no, I've met pretty much everyone. But for example, I have a lot of nephews, a lot of nieces, you know,
That
like
you never see?
that I've never met, that I don't know even their names. And also to be able to settle, you know, household, you know, like family disputes or you want to work on something is very difficult. You know, some people that are in the countryside, they can have access to internet and mobile phone. So there's a lot of challenge in as much as there are positivity that come with the fact that you have many siblings. But at
So
present, I mean, if we talk about the current situation, I'm not sure if it is still relevant to have many.
for the young people now, we're trying to figure out life. We're trying to figure out like opportunities of what we can do for ourselves and for our family. Is it an option for them to actually have a multiple wife?
I don't think it's an option. I mean,
Let's say in average, leave about those guys who are successful, who can bring the family.
I don't think it is. I don't think
Is it viable that they can have two wives, three wives?
no.
So you yourself, you cannot handle three
I
wives.
cannot. I mean, not only. I mean, already handling one wife it would be very difficult.
Yeah.
What about 2, 3 wives? Because it's not. It's a burden on both sides. Because the thing is that in most cases, the women that get married to a man in high number, are not able to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? I mean, they are usually not economically viable independently, so they'll have to depend on a man.
How?
In most cases, this is what I've
Make
seen.
me explain, because
No, what I mean is that,
nowadays
for example,
people have a,
most of the
especially
men who have in today, in 2026,
they go for lower rank.
yes, they go for a woman that has no power economically and socially.
that they can abuse her, or
They can control her. They can control
So
what she
he's for
does.
controlling it.
Yeah, he's under his influence.
Responsibility,
Yes.
yeah.
So that is always the problem, and you will see that many women are not happy in that relationship because they do not have a choice.
Yeah.
I have very many examples, and I think you do too, of sisters, like cousins that are married to men that have many wives, and they just find it's like very abusive relationship because
But even the girl who are better educated, some of them now are even accepting the second wife idea. Is that
to be a second wife.
Is it because that they are the newest wife and then they will be treated especially compared to the older one, or why are they actually accepting it now?
I think that I would not say that I am very much aware about why this is happening. I think that you can look at it in two ways. First, some women feel like they need to get into the institution of marriage to look, respected in society. And then you can also look at it. For example, those women, maybe they get married to, it's an easy way for them to find a spouse, and also economically they don't have to do anything. And in most cases, I don't know, it could be that the man is economically better off. So they feel like, okay, I don't want to have a difficult life. I just get married to this guy no matter the fact that I'm a second wife.
So it's because of the environment where they are, they don't have jobs.
Yes.
They may be very well educated.
Exactly.
They don't have opportunity, and that pushes them to where they can settle at less stressful life, So that the reason why maybe they may accept to be a second wife to a guy who is maybe not well educated, but is good in life. Is somewhere there, But for us, the young people,
and I've seen it actually. I mean, I've seen it. There are a lot of men, politicians, businessmen that are not educated. I'm not saying education is the key to everything, but I'm saying, I mean, it's the basic, because it gives you an understanding of how the world works, how to engage with people, and all this kind of stuff. But I have seen a lot of, highly educated women, career women, leaving what they're doing to get married to men that, are not very educated, but just because
they call them tycoon.
Exactly.
Big tycoons. Big tycoons seem to be taking all the ladies at the moment.
But also, I think, I mean, I don't know, you tell me, I think there's also an element of social pressure, because when in our society these days, when a woman reaches the age of 30, people are asking questions. I mean, needless to say, the same for men.
Why are they not getting married? And I'm telling you, the demand of men has degraded a little bit. There will be a men, but those are not the ones that you actually want to be with. A man has to prove to you that they can look up to themselves for you even be part of it, because you're not marrying, suffering for the next 80 years. So I'm thinking maybe people need to revisit why they have to marry two wives. If it's good for them, it's good for them. But I think for me, I would either look after myself first, then think of maybe bring another partner into my life. And then after that, we can think of bringing children up.
But I also think that...
I think this is how it should work, because...
I think that there are also other aspects of why people are getting, into polygamy. One other thing that I can think about is that back in the day, especially, how men used to marry at a young age.
Yes, very young.
Like at the early 20s. And I think in that age, you are not sure about, what you want.
What you want,
So you get married to a lady, and then all of a sudden, you realize you have a lot of differences.
Was it because people were not traveling? Like people were not living from South Sudan to Kenya?
Not only that, I mean, even Rwanda, from your own village, like
Rwanda to village, to Congo. So people are not exposed.
Exactly, you are not exposed. You like the options are you don't know.
Limited.
Yes.
So now everyone is exposed to
exactly.
Then you get this one. You say, "Oh, this is a good one." The next one, is it?
Maybe I think that
that may contribute.
Yeah, it contributes a lot, because you realize that maybe your soulmate, is not in your locality. So then you
have
travel
to travel far for
yeah
for
to
that, yeah.
meet
Yeah,
another one.
I understand what you're trying to say, but in reality, people need to be careful of what they're going into, because this life is a very long one. We can live in this world, and you are not limited to what you can see.
Yeah.
Only yourself is the one that's limiting yourself.
Yeah.
So if marrying less children, if marrying less wife, having less children, will get you exposed to how the world is looking. Because if you were to die tomorrow, you can say, look, I have seen it all.
Yeah.
What am I still waiting for? I don't want to live up to 90 or 100. I don't want to be there because I have already done my part. So for the best of our country, I think South Sudan is a leading in having many wives. Because I've seen a man that
actually, compared to, because many people say that, and I don't want us to pitch it here as something that is negative, because every society is entitled, to their way of life. The people who are getting married to one wife might look at it as something positive from their perspective. I'm not saying I disagree with it, but our people who are getting married to multiple wives also look at it positive.
Yes.
So the only thing that I have to comment on is the fact that, are you able to take care of those children? Are you able to take care of of your wife? Because we're talking about, in this case, men getting married to wives, not the other way around. So I think this is the message that needs to be understood, that it's not necessarily negative that you're getting married because it's your culture. It's a culture.
Yeah, it's a culture.
But the problem is it brings a burden to society.
100%.
Because if you have 4 wives, on average 6 kids each, that is what?
24.
So 24 kids. Tell me where you are able to educate all this. Tell me where you're going.
You have to open a school for them.
Yeah.
And you become their teacher.
Yeah. So
that's the best. If you become a teacher, you can teach all of them.
Yeah.
All in all, what I'm saying is that having multiple wives sometimes can be disadvantages as well, because maybe there will be a lot of unfaithful women who are part of your wife, can also bring different children outside, and you will never notice.
You'll never notice. In Norway, there is a saying that only the woman knows
the real father
exactly.
of those children.
But the thing is that I also think that it's also a trap for men.
They choose it.
Polygamy is very much, a negative thing that affects women more than men. But I think it's also a trap for men, because getting a divorce in our society is very difficult. And there's a lot of process, and it's very
you have to follow.
And sometimes men choose to marry another wife to run away from
the problem that they haven't solved.
Exactly. So instead of saying, this is not working, we need to dissolve it, you'll just bring another wife
as a solution.
As a solution.
So is that how you start from your first wife? You said your first wife is misbehaving, then you bring the other one. Another one is behaving.
Exactly.
You bring the other one.
The cycle continues.
You don't actually.
Do you know?
You just leave them.
Have you ever heard about who has a record of the number of wives back in South Sudan?
I know it's in Panjanjar.
No.
That guy is in Panjanjar.
No, we're talking about now.
Now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's one guy called former Army Chief of Staff, Paul Malong, 73 wives.
Big Paul, I will never disagree with you. Big Paul can do
that. You ask yourself,
but Paul is able to look after.
No, but it's not about looking after. But this is how, also, in my opinion, and it's exact. I think it's
accepted it.
No, but it's for me, and this has data to it. I think this promotes corruption, because just tell me how you're able to feed 73 wives with yourself. Huh? Tell me how you're able to feed 73.
My salary will not even be able to feed me and my partner. Forget about the children. But imagine 73 wives. Let's do the math.
Yeah.
73 wives. Let's say one of them has only maybe 2.
Yeah.
2 of them. So that's time it's 73.
Yeah, 170. 147. 146.
That's 146.
146 kids.
Let's say every 2 years they're having 2. You see, that's a big number.
But this is why, because for him, in his understanding, he thinks that having many wives and many kids will bring him fame. because
But it's not him alone. There's a lot of them. You only
I mean,
figure
I
one
also
person.
heard about there is
other
there's a man who was a prophet
Those villages.
who is in Mayom in Unity State.
There's another guy that was in Jonglei a few days back.
Yeah.
What's his name? Dakwit.
Yeah,
That guy has 60. He has 60 wives. So he's not far from Malong. But those guys are barely living in the village.
exactly.
Their wife has never given birth in hospital.
Yeah,
So sometimes
exactly. Yeah.
it depends on the location.
Imagine if you were to pay for the C-section of this.
Even the appointment from the pregnancy to birth. There's a lot. So
He would just live in the hospital.
we're just not going to get that. But what we're trying to say is now, as young people, do we continue with this life, or do we maybe try to see what we can handle and then maybe think about it later? Because we don't want you to say, oh, take it out or make it a law that you only have one wife. That's unfair.
I mean, the first thing, actually, the one thing that we have to accept and understand is that no one should tell you that you get married.
Well, you do it at your own time.
Yeah, you do. But we have a lot.
You have to do it at
We
your
have
own
a lot of pressure. We have a lot of pressure in our community. For example, you if you're not married, everyone would always be whispering.
Yeah, but again,
How is it?
that's only noise. That's outside noise. What makes you happy?
Some people listen. Some people listen, and they say they want to respect, their parents.
That's why sometimes they push you to marry a daughter of someone just because they know the father.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Many
that's okay. They can do that, but as a man or a woman, you have a choice.
But they sing it to your ear like day and night, every day, every year. Some people, that are weak in terms of, absorbing this kind of persuasion will do it. Imagine.
But what I'm trying to say is this: no one should push you to do anything that you are not willing to do. Now
are you telling me that if your mom was telling you every day, what, name, this lady is nice for you, her family is good, she's very educated, she's beautiful, she's tall, you will continue to say no for 5 years?
I will say that I will look for my own liking. I will look for the woman that I want.
But they will tell you that, but we've been waiting and you are not coming.
That's okay. I will come.
But when they say, because they say, most of them, they say.
I always say God time is the best timing. Sure, I'll wait for my God timing. And that's the thing that we need to push back to be able to say no. Mom,
but many,
especially our sisters, they're going through this tough time. They need to actually educate themselves. They need to make money.
Many women,
This is our society always think that when a woman get a job, they think that maybe she's using her body. But she has the knowledge, she has the experience.
Absolutely. And I think that is the best that women in our society can do.
They're going through so
is
much.
to take care of themselves.
They're going through so much.
The moment, and I've seen a lot of women who work that are able to push back, because in most cases, some families look at it as a burden, taking care of the lady. So they're telling her, get married, I don't want you to be sleep in my house.
Is it because the brothers want to get married? They want those cows to flow to.
Sometimes no. Sometimes it's just the parent, because they say it's embarrassing for them to have, a lady that is not married. Maybe it will bring a bad reputation to the household, to their family. So, like we and this leads to forced marriage, which is
and people make mistake too. Yeah. That's when the mistakes. I mean, if they pushing you to get married, you would definitely easily make mistakes. Goes to the bad guy, drugs, alcoholic, this thing, criminal. You don't take your time to actually look.
And that's why they say it's better the devil, because if you choose your own wife, if I choose my own wife, and I go and suffer, that is my choice.
Let me tell you this: when they choose you one and you go and suffer, these people, they don't help you. This is what I can tell you. They don't help you. You will cry.
But that is the thing.
A lot of meetings.
That is why I'm so.
So you have to make sure. You're on your own. You make your decision. And if you are watching and people are telling you to get married, either you're a woman or you're a boy, and people are saying go get married, make that your last decision. Be the one to actually say, I'm ready to look after myself. Now I can get a friendship. Maybe I can get to know. And then from there, you can decide where you want to go. Because this is where family breakdown. If family don't have money, people normally...
and in some cases...
If you don't take your wife to holiday, you can't just bring her in the house every day. In the house. I'll go mad if I was a woman, So I want to be able to take my wife away. At least from there, we say, okay, what if we bring a little baby for us to play around,
Yeah.
That's how the life is. The next chapter, I was not going to say, I want to bring another woman. No.
Exactly.
And this is what our society is saying, but everyone is talking bad about who you love. They say, oh, this woman is bad, this woman is bad. Get married. They actually They actually push you to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
another
yeah.
wife after the first
And then
one.
you would be surprised that it's the same people actually who told you to get married who are asking you to get another
You
one.
know,
I think
for
yeah.
society.
I mean, I think
So we have to be
we
careful.
need to get over the fact that marriage should be a personal decision.
Yes.
Marriage should be, you know, for your own good. You should not do it. You know, it's no longer about society because back in the day it was about society. Like they say our wife.
That's
You
right.
know, your community, they want to contribute, they want to be part of it. It's our wife. But these days
You are alone.
yeah, you are alone. You get married, you live, you know, in a foreign country. Who will be there to help you to resolve
No
your
one,
disputes?
So, guys, we just talked about this small topic today. As a young people, we need to make sure we're the one making decisions. As much as we love our family, we have to tell them that we are on this. We got it. If it's marriage, we are coming for it. We will do it at our own timing. Don't be led to a condition that you don't want to be. You know, if having a lot of wives is your choice, please just look after them. Just look after them because I don't want my sister to go and suffer on your hand. You know,
But also it has to be you have to be transparent also to the woman.
just be open. Yeah.
To the woman itself. Because for example, if you're marrying a first
And
wife,
then you may have a
yeah, you need to tell her that this is
You have
who
to
I
be
am,
open
that
and
I
this-
want to be polygamous,
Yes.
so that she knows what she's in for.
she's
But
signing up for.
if you're going to lure somebody's daughter into your household without saying anything, then later you're going to bring. This is how we continue this vicious cycle.
Oh, you're just gonna have a broken family.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a lot of broken
And
families.
then you continue to leave, you know, one wife with their kid, go to
Children on
next
the
one.
road.
Yeah.
And have you ever heard children growing up with their father? It's the hardest thing ever.
yeah.
Because they will not listen to their mother.
Yeah.
They can just do whatever they want. So as men, we have to man up and actually be there for those kids.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter what happened between us and our loved one, the wife. We have to make sure those kids are there for us.
But it's also we have to understand that it's okay that things are not working out.
We understand that people just
like
need to talk it.
yeah, I like we
need to
need to understand that the fact that when you are married or you're in a relationship, it doesn't have to reach abusive stage for you to say Kalas, it's over.
I know the abusive come on both sides, either from a lady or from a man. It come equally.
Yeah.
It come equally.
No, both sides have to agree that it's working or not. If it's not working, both sides have to accept it's not working. And then you just dissolve it.
Dissolve it, but actually look after the children.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we just talk a lot. We came from a family that have a lot of siblings, different mothers, and we really appreciate God for helping our fathers, bringing us up to the point where we can talk to you on podcast. It's the thing that we can follow our food stuff for the father, you know.
Yeah. Well,
I would love to follow my food stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think we were lucky to have made it this far, given the fact that the circumstances were difficult, being many kids. But we would not like to have better lives for our kids than we had. So that's why we have to think twice before going into polygamous relationship with both men and women. So thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
We would like your comments in terms of having more wife, also having more husband, looking after your children, and the way of financial stability is a key.
Thank you very much.
Financial stability, and thank you very much for listening.
Please, go to our, Spotify and YouTube
and
subscribe
Instagram.
and share with
Just
your
follow
friends.
us too.
Follow us, and we would like your support and your reflection through the comment section. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.